Did you ever know that with just 47 naira 95 kobo, you can become one of the owners of Zenith Bank? And did you ever know that with just 18 naira 65 kobo, you can become one of the owners of Fidelity Bank? Has it ever crossed your mind that you can rake in millions and billions? I mean, literally multiply your money, build massive wealth, and gain financial freedom just investing in shares? In this video, I am going to show you how this can be made possible. And if you watch till the end, I'm going to show you how I made a massive 33% return on investment ROI in the last couple of months from the shares I bought. I'm also going to share with you very important tips which you can't afford to miss if you want to build riches and become financially free by investing in shares. Welcome to my channel. My name is Peter, your money mentor and finance coach. In this channel, all we talk about is how to make money, manage money, and multiply money, thereby empowering you to acquire riches, create wealth, become financially free, and of course, proceed to living that life of your noblest dreams. If this is the kind of thing that you want, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell icon beside it so that you get notified each time we publish new videos. Now, if you're ready, let's dive deep into the video. To start with, what is a share? It is a unit of a company's capital. A share represents ownership in a company. When you buy a share, you are essentially buying a small part of that company's assets and profits, and of course, liabilities and losses. When you buy a company's share, you become a shareholder in that company. That means you have become one of those who own that company. With just 100,000 naira or even much lower, you can become one of the owners of any of the banks like First Bank of Nigeria, Union Bank, Zenith Bank, UBA, Fidelity Bank, Access Bank, FCMB, Woma Bank, etc. Yes, with just a little amount of money, you can become one of the owners of the telecom companies like MTN and other numerous companies in the various industries within this country. For instance, currently, Fidelity Bank share is trading at 18 naira 65 kobo per share, meaning that with 18 naira 65 kobo, you can become a shareholder in Fidelity Bank. Zenith Bank share is currently trading at 47 naira 95 kobo. So with 47 naira 95 kobo, you become a shareholder in Zenith Bank. MTN is trading at 275 naira, meaning that with 275 naira, you automatically become one of those who own MTN. The list goes on and on. Now, there are three ways you make money when you buy a company share. Number one, through price appreciation. Number two, through dividends. Number three, through bonus shares. I'm going to explain these points in a reverse order. This is on purpose. It is to enable me explain number one last because this is the chiefest place where money is multiplied. It is also important I take this last because this is where I will share with you my own personal testimonial and equally share with you the tips as promised earlier. Number one then, bonus share. This is also called bonus issue. The purpose is to reward existing shareholders amidst strong financial performance. You could take certain predetermined ratios like 1:2, 2:1, 1:5, and so on. What this means is that a company that is doing well may decide to give one share free to every 2 shares a shareholder has. Meaning that if a shareholder has 100 shares, he's entitled to additional free 50 shares. If a shareholder has 2 million shares, it automatically becomes 3 million. This is huge because all of a sudden, your share portfolio or total amount of shares you hold increases by 50%, 100%, 200%, and so on, as the case may be. For instance, from the first half of last year, 2024, United Capital PLC paid out 2 new shares as bonus to every 1 share held. That means increasing the shareholding of their shareholders by 300%. Also, effective from June 19 last year, 2024, VFD Group PLC gave out 4 new shares as bonus to every 1 share held. This is increasing the share value of each shareholder 5 times. Interesting, right? That is one way money is multiplied and wealth created in the stock market through shares. Like in the case of the VFD Group PLC, which I just cited, their shareholders in a moment became 4 times richer than they were. Number 2, dividend. A dividend is a portion of a company's profit paid out to its shareholders. This is done at certain intervals, say quarterly, mid-yearly, or yearly, as the case may be. The company takes a particular amount of its profit for a period and shares it among its shareholders within a financial year. Now, this kind of income is sweet. It's sweet. I must tell you, it is sweet and heart gladdening. Unexpectedly, you just receive a credit alert. And while wondering, where is this money coming from? You just realize it's dividend. This is a joy to every investor in shares. I've received 2 of such alerts this year, 2025. In April, it was from Fidelity Bank. And in this May, it was from Access Corp, that is Access Bank. Before I get to the last point, which is share price appreciation, which I consider the father of them all when it comes to making and multiplying money through shares, may I remind you, if you are getting value, to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon beside it so that you get notified each time we publish new videos. Now let's go straight to point 3, which is share price appreciation. Share price appreciation, in other words, is share price increase. The big part is sometimes this share price increase can be so geometrical that people walk away from the stock market with tons of money. You can buy a company share at a particular price, say 20 naira per share. And after some time, the price increases to 25 naira per share, to 35 naira per share, to 55 naira per share, to 70 naira per share, to 100 naira per share, or even more. When this happens, the moment this happens, you have made money big time as a shareholder, depending on the amount of shares you hold. For instance, last year, I think it was around October, November, I bought Fidelity Bank shares worth 90-something thousand naira. Around January this year, 2025, the share price had increased, and that my 90-something thousand naira had increased to 130-something thousand naira. That is, it had gained 30-something thousand naira. What do you call that? That is a whooping 33% return on investment, approximately, in less than 5 months. Some shares can do way beyond that, to the tune of 100% and more within a given period. Now, pay attention to this analysis I want to make so that you will appreciate the money multiplication capacity and wealth creation potential of shares. Let's establish this first. That day or period, I bought that Fidelity Bank shares worth 90-something thousand naira. There were some individuals who possibly bought the same shares worth tens and hundreds of millions. With that in mind, let's now go into the analysis. If 90,000 naira of that Fidelity Bank share yielded a profit of 30,000, how much will 900,000 naira shares yield as profit? 300,000 naira, of course. How much will 9 million naira shares yield as profit? 3 million naira, of course. How much will 90 million naira share yield as profit? 30 million, of course. How much would 900 million naira shares yield as profit? 300 million naira, of course. That's how money is multiplied and wealth created. As that share did that positive movement, delivering profit, anybody who invested in it, irrespective of educational status, creed, or color, reaped the profit that came through the share price increase. Let me give you these statistics before I end up with the financial tips. If you had invested 100,000 naira in January 2024 in the following Nigerian companies, Look at the multiplication that would have taken place in October of the same year, 2024, just about 10 months after. 100,000 naira invested in Oando shares in January 2024 grew to become 890,000 naira by October of the same year, 2024. Imagine that you threw in 100,000 naira into the Oando shares by January last year, or even more than that. 100,000 naira invested in Julius Becker shares in 2024 January grew to become 381,000 naira by October of the same year, 2024. 100,000 naira invested in Boa Foods shares in January 2024 grew to become 201,000 naira by October of the same year, 2024. 100,000 naira invested in Transcorp shares in January 2024 grew to become 480,000 naira by October of the same year, 2024. And 100,000 naira invested in Presco PLC shares in January 2024 grew to become 223,000 naira by October of the same year, 2024. Now, the tips. Number one, money loves structure. That is consistency. Ignorance of this keeps many people poor. For instance, many persons do not invest in shares because they are waiting for a time they will raise a huge sum of money. That is financial illiteracy, you know. In the world of investing, consistency is superior to intensity. Now, pay attention to this. A small amount invested consistently over a long period of time is more powerful than a huge sum of money invested occasionally. Number two, money loves speed. Don't be a victim of the paralysis of analysis and procrastination. Do your due diligence and begin your investment journey today. Number three, think in percentages. Think in percentages. When you invest 100,000 naira, for instance, and it yields 20,000 naira, don't commonize it and say, what is 20,000 naira? Rather, ask yourself, what percentage of 100,000 is this 20,000 naira? That is 20%, you know. Then you will realize that 10 million naira into that same investment would have given you 2 million as ROI, return on investment. Number four, think passive income. Passive income is the secret of the rich and wealthy. This is that income that comes to you while you sleep without lifting a finger. It is not you working, but your money working very hard for you. Owning shares is one very good investment vehicle and tool that delivers passive income. If your dream is to become financially free and to afford the lifestyle of the rich and wealthy, both now in your active years and later in your retirement years, then think investment in shares. See you at the wealthy place. Till we meet in my next video. Bye.